I want to talk to you today about feeding people, and I'm going to talk to you about feeding people every day until I gain some traction. Yeah. So, what I'm trying to do is start community gardens. And ideally this will start, of course it's going to start with my with my community, because I have a piece of property that I already have, which is kind of not how this thought developed, is kind of how it started. I started feeling like I'm able to do it because I actually have a resource that is pretty substantial to the whole effort, is the property. So, and I've been wanting to do this for a long time. This is something I've always thought about. Sorry about my dogs barking outside. And I finally now have a resource to help get it started. What I don't have is the rest of the resources, right? Because I live in the middle of the desert. I live in New Mexico, in Vegueta, Socorro County. So I pretty much live in desert, and I can't grow in it well. So what I'm needing from my community locally is just supplies, compost, manure. I am around a lot of farms. I just don't know where to go to talk to people and things. As well as maybe seeds, but I can always get seeds. I want, good quality seeds, of course. But also I have water totes, and I have a way to get water, but with donations, like monetary donations, I will put a well in. I also want to put like a community center on the property as well as the gardens. So we would grow the food, but we would also have like a laundry facility and bathrooms, shower rooms, stuff like that for the community. Because I know, especially in the off-grid community, if you're not set up, if you don't have the money to really like go in hard and set up like your water and your solar, or however you're going to do your power, if you don't really have that money, it can be pretty difficult and rough. I don't have running water. I have to go haul it. I go to Love's, my local Love's, to take showers. And the showers are $18.37. My wife works at the Arby's there, so we can sometimes they help us out, and they're pretty good for that, and they're a pretty good place. They really are, to work for too. And we charge Jackeries for power, and we have a generator that we use when we use mostly in the summer, because we have the air conditioner. But in the winter we have propane heat, and a propane cook thing that we just got this year, so that really helps with the cooking. Because if you don't have a way to cook sufficiently, then it can get pretty difficult. And here I am just rambling about off-grid homesteading life, but no, the goal is to provide your community with the basic necessities to feel human. Literally. Food, water, showers, clean clothes, stuff like that. People who are unhoused, they need those things too. And I don't really care what your feelings about unhoused people are and them being provided resources. If I'm doing this to provide you with resources who has a job and can provide for yourself, because I am, that's what the goal is. I can provide for those without too. The main goal here is really to provide for everybody. get us all on an even playing field when it comes to our just basic resources and necessities. We live on a floating rock, right, in space. We're just floating around, bobbling around in space. Not really like that, but you know what I mean. And we literally have thought of a way to monetize basic necessities. That is disgusting. All right? If you really think about it, that is some real elitist shit. And it really does go back to we started growing more food than we needed, so someone was like, "Oh, I'll store that for you," and then and then sold it back to them. And that just became the norm. That became everyday life in society. That's crazy. You understand that, right? We can set up a system of community gardens, of communities that network together, that have a barter trade system, and that has a barter and trade system. And of course, people are going to want the material things still, and that's fine. That's why you would still have jobs. That's why employment is still going to be a thing. That's why people are still going to work. That's what people don't quite understand. You say, well, if people have free healthcare, free food, and all of that, what's going to incentivize them to work and keep the economy going? We live in a very materialistic world. How many people are giving up their PS5s? How many people are going to give up certain things? Their nails, their hair, their makeup for the women. I don't ever use that term. That's weird. Ew. For the women. And other things. People want to play sports. People want nice, people are going to want brand clothes. People are still going to want those things. But those are the things they would work for. They shouldn't have to work for shelter and basic, we would make clothes. Crochet, knit. There's people who make to make fabrics. That can all be used to make clothes and barter and trade with. We could do so much. We really could. And then we could still have jobs to buy those extra things that are manufactured. We can still have those manufacturing jobs to make those things. How does that not make sense? So that is my proposal, and it really starts with a community garden in a community, and it spreads to more community gardens and more communities just coming together and making a network. Because if you really truly want to resist what's going on, and I haven't talked about politics until now, because my main message is to feed people. But if you want to resist this, if you want to get rid of the fascism and the tyrant that's in the government right now, your first stage is food. You have to be able to feed your body. You have to be able to feed your mind. There's a reason why these women in Hollywood are starting to look really, really skinny. And it's because if you're not eating, if your body is in a calorie deficit, it's too much, if you're not getting the fat and the sugar that you need, your brain can't function. You have to be able to eat to think. You have to be able to eat to fight. So please watch this whole long ass 10-minute video, obviously. I didn't realize I was going to talk this long. And please consider donating and helping. Please, this is important. Thank you so much in advance to anybody who stays this long and watches and listens. It is so fucking important.